What I am about to show you will make any man chase you and obsess over you overnight. I am about to make you text 3 mesmerizing phrases to that one special man who never had any feelings for you. These phrases are proven to shoot intense chemicals of pure obsession into his bloodstream, leaving him no other option but to helplessly chase you. Here's exactly how this works. 1. Pick a man that you currently like. Even someone who has been ignoring you for ages or has left you for another woman. But you must be absolutely sure about this man, because once you do this, he'll suddenly start to chase you overnight and it can't be reversed. 2. Just text him these 3 mesmerizing phrases one after the next, as I'll show you soon. 3. Then just hold your phone in your hand and wait for his response. This is all you need to do. The moment his eyes scan your text, he'll experience the deepest desire of his entire life pooling in his belly, turning to fire as his eyes devour the words of this text. Within seconds, this fire will circle his entire body, making his heart pound in his chest, as he starts to call and text you multiple times, only to shamelessly declare that he is utterly addicted to you. Now he just can't see himself being with any other woman but you. Heck, even if he had to choose between you and a Victoria's Secret supermodel, now he'd happily pick you. I am really not kidding. He might have even flat out rejected you just moments ago. I still dare you to casually use these 3 mesmerizing phrases just once, and notice how he suddenly turns deeply, utterly, and insanely crazy about you. Not just this, that man who has fallen out of love will now happily confess that you're the most devastatingly beautiful woman he's ever seen, even if he has seen you 1,000 times before. That unsure commitment-phobic guy will now want to marry you more than he has ever wanted anything in his life. If you're single, you'll be able to capture that one special man or any man you've secretly desired. And that one man you lost to another woman won't be able to eat, sleep, or function, and will crave to get you back like he craves his next breath, even if it's been years since the breakup. Why am I so sure that this works? Well, because not so long ago, these 3 mesmerizing phrases were used on me. Here's the story. Although this is really disturbing and shameful when I think about it now, but only a short time ago, I was accused of being just too good with women, and honestly, I love to love different women. Although I often had dozens upon dozens of truly gorgeous women offering themselves to me on a silver platter, I never invited any of them further than the front door, emotionally speaking. To be blunt about it, turning down women gave me an almost evil sense of pleasure. But all that changed one fateful day when I had the strangest encounter of my life. I was invited to a wine tasting event by a close friend, but honestly, I went there more for the ladies than the wine. Within the very first few minutes, I was having a wonderful time. Wine flowed, and so did the glamorous women around my table, one after the next. Just then, a gentle voice came from my right. "Hi, I am Deborah. Nice to meet you." I gently turned my head, expecting to see an exquisite goddess with mouth-watering beauty. But as my eyes examined her, I quickly realized that she wasn't worth a second look. She was just average in an average sort of a way. I mean, I was surrounded by incredibly gorgeous women with deliciously tempting bodies at that moment. So I greeted Deborah with a lot of awkwardness, chit-chatted for a mere 3 minutes, and then gave her my number just to get rid of her. Being my usual Casanova self, that evening I brought this gorgeous blonde to my apartment from the party. But just as I was making this new girl a drink, I saw a text on my phone from Deborah. The moment I casually glanced over it, I suddenly experienced 1,000 different feelings racing through my body like a 1,000-watt current. I can't explain it, but it was giving me a warm, pleasant feeling. I looked at her texts for a long time, but couldn't understand why I kept looking at them. And just then, I felt this irresistible urge inside me. I was suddenly reeling with hunger for Deborah, wanting more and more of her. And then I felt it. Something was pulling me to Deborah so irresistibly that I literally got rid of the blonde at my house and flew over to see Deborah at a nearby restaurant. When I saw her from a distance, the hairs on the back of my neck stood in anticipation. We talked a little, and suddenly I couldn't hear or feel anything around me, because now I was completely lost in her. It was getting harder to remember why I didn't like her that much, because now I was completely incapable of resisting her. Hearing her wonderfully soft voice left me deeply mesmerized. Just looking at how beautifully her innocent lips moved left me wanting more and more. I loved the way her scarlet red hair fell gently over her face, and watching her innocently tilt her head from side to side was making all kinds of beautiful sensations swirl in my stomach. Then, as the evening came to an end, she softly kissed me on the cheek, and it damn near knocked me breathless. On my ride back home, I found myself trying to relive the entire encounter. Every feature of her delicate face, her voice, her every expression was now deeply locked in my memory. And over the next few days, I couldn't stop thinking about her, about the wonderful texts she sent me, about the way her eyes looked at me, about the way she made me feel. Everything. Now spending time with her was like magic, and being away from her was like being short of breath. It was punishment. I literally went deaf and blind to other women because now, no other woman's eyes were ever as captivating. No one else's touch was ever as exciting. No other smile was ever as beautifully hypnotic as Deborah's, and I needed her badly. I needed her more than I could ever remember needing anything, and that's when it finally hit me. I had fallen for her. Hard. Very, very hard. In these weeks, watching, listening, and learning about her, my heart knew something that my mind ignored for so long. I could call it love, but it was more. A lot more. And this is where everything turned upside down. One evening, while showing me pictures on her phone, Deborah lovingly held onto my arm and snuggled up next to me. I got a feel of her soft skin and the warmth of her body, and suddenly, I just couldn't resist it. I didn't have the willpower to stop myself. I just inched close to her ear and said, "There is something about you that draws me into you. I can hardly hold myself back now. I don't know how to say this, but I want you in my life forever and ever." We spent the next few moments lovingly staring at each other, holding one another and just talking about everything close to our hearts. Just then, I jokingly asked, "I feel like you have me under this deep romantic spell. Why am I so intoxicated with you? How do you do it?" Although I was trying to jokingly tease her, but what she told me next was the biggest surprise of my life. She said, "I used a few texting secrets on you. I never told you what I did for a living, but I teach women the art of getting any man of their dreams by using something called mesmerizing phrases." And then she pulled out her secret workbook. I casually glanced over it, and within minutes, I experienced a mental orgasm. I know that sounds a little inappropriate, but this is really the only way I can reasonably describe what happened. "Oh my God, Deborah," I shouted. "This stuff is exactly what every man wants really deep down inside his soul, but practically never gets." But now I got incredibly curious and wanted to know how she learned all this. Deborah told me that many years ago, she met an underground teacher who did something very unique called mesmerizing texting. Deborah saw him do something remarkable at one of his events when he made this woman get her ex back after 2 years. He made this woman send over just 3 simple mesmerizing phrases to this man who never responded to her texts or calls, and almost miraculously, he immediately texted back saying, "The moment I read your texts, my heart just stood still. I've made a big mistake when I decided to get away from you. You're all I've ever lived for. I sincerely hope that you give me another chance." Deborah just couldn't believe this, but then this teacher explained that he uses a special combination of words that are proven by research to put a man into an impulsive state. These words flood the male body with something known as the addiction hormone, responsible for creating feelings of pure attachment and obsession. The moment any man hears or reads these special words, his body will fill up with addictive love chemicals, urging him to desire you in all manners, leaving him with absolutely zero desire for other women. Feeling absolutely blown away by this discovery, Deborah decided to do something interesting. She casually texted these mesmerizing phrases to this man who had rudely turned her down 2 months ago by saying he didn't find her attractive enough. Within 21 minutes, he had texted Deborah 7 times, complimenting her over and over. And when he couldn't hold it anymore, he literally called Deborah's phone and said, Honestly, I've never felt such a strong connection to another woman in all my life. There is something about you that is causing my heart to beat wildly. You're the most tempting woman I've ever met." Seeing how easy and effortless this was, Deborah did even more research and learned that this activates the same impulsive neurotransmitters that are active when someone is addicted to drugs. In short, he will feel so love-possessed that he won't be able to stop himself from obsessing over you. He'll just experience a quiet desperation to reach you, possess you, and chase after you, making him feel a special kind of love, which is so emotionally addictive that he will want to be with you and only you till the end of time. This excited Deborah so much that she turned this from a hobby into a full-time profession. After about 4 years of studying all this, she carefully took notes, wrote day and night, and finally had a complete guidebook of these phrases that she named Mesmerizing Phrases, addictive words that leave men obsessed. Very soon, Deborah turned into a celebrity among her friends and peers, but it also sort of made everyone jealous. Jealous because they knew that Deborah had this magical power that attracted men to her like bees to honey. But they couldn't figure it out for themselves. One afternoon, Deborah was hanging out for coffee with her friend Krista. Krista looked restless, almost like a wounded insect taking its last breaths. "I'll never be loved and I'll always be alone," she kept crying out. Krista's boyfriend of 2 years had suddenly told her that she doesn't excite him anymore, and he wanted to take a break from the relationship. Seeing this, Deborah just couldn't let her friend suffer, and in the process, she shared something called the oomph of love phrase with her. That very evening, Krista's boyfriend very emotionally confessed, "What you texted me today has completely taken me over. You are so perfect for me, so special to me, and the best thing to ever happen to me. I'll never ever let you go. I've never said this before, but thank you for being in my life." This event got into the gossip circle, and suddenly all her other friends, and even friends of friends, were asking her to share these secrets. Deborah shared her "be my darling" phrase with another friend named Angela, who went from one heartbreaking rejection to the next, because every man just treated her as a casual fling and nothing more. After casually using this phrase, for the first time ever, a man told Angela, "This is not something that happens often, at least not to me, but I've got to tell you that I've been feeling butterflies in my stomach since the time I saw you. You're very special to me." Deborah shared her "loving gorilla" phrase with another friend named Susan, who was neck deep in love with a player. There were days when Susan would spend hours doing her hair, makeup, and picking out a sexy outfit in hopes that he would notice, but he would walk right past her as if she was almost invisible. After using the "loving gorilla" phrase, this same man suddenly hugged Susan from behind and whispered, "I just want to be locked in a room with you and throw the key away. I cannot hide my feelings from you anymore. You excite me in ways I never even knew existed." At this point, Deborah had helped more than 359 women from all walks of life, ranging from 18 to 80 years old, and had a huge list of women waiting for one-on-one coaching. But she quickly realized that she didn't have enough hours in a day to help everyone, even though she was desperate to do just that. So after a lot of thinking and racking up her brain day and night, she finally had a solution. Over the last 417 days, she has been working day and night on something that will be the most valuable course you'll ever get your hands on. Introducing the Mesmerizing Phrases online course. And since you're here viewing this video, you have a very rare opportunity to get your hands on this course right now. These mesmerizing phrases are so exciting and easy to learn that you'll be able to watch, absorb, and use them in just a few minutes from now. You might be single, married, or in a complicated relationship. You could be 18 or 88 years old. It doesn't really matter. Just casually use these hypnotic phrases, and with just one text, you will make that one special man feel enchanted like a cobra under a snake charmer's spell. Prepare yourself, because here is a tiny sample of what you're about to discover. Do you know about the attraction firecracker phrase that will make any man crave you like a chocoholic craves dessert? This secretly sends a suggestive signal to his primal brain, turning him into a love-starved, attention-hungry Romeo who will just want to throw himself into your arms and never ever let go. Has that one special man fallen out of love with you? Use the desire reset phrase on him and watch how he suddenly starts to miss you from his morning meal all the way till dinner. He will put your picture on his phone just because even a moment away from you will feel like pure torture. Are you scared that he might leave you for someone else? Use the journey to heart phrase on him because it keeps him madly, deeply, and wholeheartedly in love with you. Now, you'll be the only goal he'll ever wish to pursue this day and every day for the rest of his life. Are you trying to get an ex back who's gone into the arms of another woman? Use my love me again phrase on him, and almost immediately, his mind will start to play mental messages like, I miss her, I want her, I need her back in my life. And he'll do everything humanly possible to have you back as fast as possible. Do you hate it when he watches porn? Use my Eye of the Charmer phrase tonight. This awakens a primal feeling of desire in every man that innocently teases his mind and sends a signal from you which says, I know you want me as much as I want you. Come get me now. And within seconds, his palms will sweat and his nerves will buzz with so much excitement that he'll want to kiss the life out of you. Have you heard of the angel of my life phrase? Use this on your man when you want him to pamper you that extra bit or please you in ways you've only seen in fairy tales. This taps into his secret desire to be your ultimate knight in the shining armor that motivates him to prove his love to you over and over again. Do you know about the stop, stare, stop phrase? Use this on a man during the first few dates and he'll feel such a burning connection with you that he'll tell you that you're the woman he's been unconsciously searching for his whole life. Now he'll experience this irresistible force to capture you and tell you how you're his future, his goal, and his only thought. Stuck with a guy who can't see you as anything more than a casual fling? Discover the "we're so groovy" phrase. This triggers the biological male need of pair bonding that'll make him look at you as someone he's meant to be with. Now, anytime you touch him, he'll imagine you as his soulmate, his wife, and the mother of his future children. Are you stuck with an emotionally distant man who never opens up? Try my freeze defreeze phrase and watch how he suddenly talks to you for hours upon hours about matters closest to his heart and never gets bored of it. He will suddenly become so caring, so romantic, and so loving towards you that it'll shock you a little. Next, I'll show you I am your princess phrase that keeps him in a never-ending zone of desire for you. Now, he'll devote himself to you so much that every word out of your mouth will be like a drug to him, intoxicating and very addictive. He'll soon be so addicted that his fingers will constantly hover over his phone to call you. And even the sound of a simple hello from you will cause his heart to beat dangerously fast. Have you ever tried the spring of love phrase? Use it only during those occasions when he pulls away for no reason, because this instantly puts a man in this impulsive trance where he'll feel an irresistible force to rush to your side, grab you, and steal you from the world. Now he'll look for excuses to be near you, and will keep wishing that your conversations never end, because watching you smile will be nothing short of being in heaven for him. Ever heard of the delightful darling phrase? Use this on that one special man who appears a little too out of reach, and watch how he feels drawn to you in a way even he won't be able to explain, almost like a super magnet. Do you want him to completely forget other women? Then use the oomph of love phrase. This makes your image stick in his mind like a tune that never goes away. His craving for you will increase day by day, to the point that he'll forget every other woman, and will want to throw himself into your arms and curl around you as if he's scared that someone might steal you away from him. And if that's not enough, you can even use the perfect fit phrase on him, and he'll happily confess that you're his biggest addiction. He'll surprise you with nice candlelight dinners at classy restaurants. He'll leave flowers by your bedside and will treat you like his ultimate princess. In fact, you'll see him giving you compliment after compliment all day long. I can keep talking for another 5 hours, but that still won't be enough to cover every amazing thing that you'll learn in this course. So now the question is, are you ready? Are you ready to use these special phrases on that one special man and turn into his ultimate obsession? You don't know this yet, but Deborah charges upwards of $300 per hour for every private client. But she wanted to make this more accessible for regular hard-working women, so her first decision was to price this at $300. But as an introductory experiment and for a very short amount of time, I've convinced her to do something that might cause her clients to be extremely furious. Because you won't have to shell out even a fraction of what they had to pay to learn these phrases. Here is what I mean. Deborah and I have decided that you aren't going to pay $300 for this program. You aren't even going to pay $200. In fact, as crazy as this sounds, you can have the complete Mesmerizing Phrases course right now for only $97. But wait, if you promise to act right now, which means by the end of this very video, I'll knock off another 60% and you can have the whole course for a one-time only payment of just $39. Yes, that's correct. You get it all for a one-time payment of only $39. You save $261 from the original $300 price tag, and that's a colossal 87% discount. But wait, this discount isn't going to stay forever. You see, Deborah just can't afford to keep this live forever, because she is giving you everything for a fraction of the price other women had to pay. So this is a part of an introductory offer for the first few women only. It's possible that you might come back after a few hours and find that the price has gone up to $300 or worse. It's possible that we might shut down access to this course soon, maybe even today. We just can't promise anything. So act now or you might miss your one and only chance forever. I know this sounds like an incredible deal, but Deborah wants to make this even easier. Here is what I mean. Download the Mesmerizing Phrases program right now and just casually look over the fun, simple, and ridiculously effective phrases. Experience in real time how any and every man feels completely mesmerized by your soul, smitten by your personality, and fascinated by you to the point that his heart won't stop racing whenever you're around. If over the next 60 days you don't notice that any man you point a finger at feels so tempted that he turns into a kid trying to impress his first crush, or you don't like this program for any reason, although I can almost guarantee that is truly impossible, you can just send us an email and we'll happily return every single penny you invested in this course. You must be thinking, why are we being so generous? That's because Deborah values your goodwill more than she values the money. She knows that the moment you use even one of these mesmerizing phrases, you'll be so thrilled that you will happily admit that this was the best investment you've ever made. And it doesn't stop there. Let me sweeten the deal even more. If you promise to order Mesmerizing Phrases by the end of this very video, then I'll throw in 3 super bonuses. First, I'd like to give you the Hypnotic Lines of Love report, which is $27 in value. Here, you'll discover how to use emotion-producing hypnotic lines that leave a man so maddeningly in love with you that he won't be able to ignore you for even an hour. So mad that he'll keep saying, "I love you," until your cheeks turn red with blushing. Next, you'll get the Mental Obsession report worth $27 in value once again. Here, I'll reveal the secret of the caveman brain that instantly makes a man convince himself that you are the one he's meant to share his life with. Now he will be so sure about you that he will be ready to give himself completely to you, even if it's the same man who is never going to marry you. And finally, you'll get the Ready His Body report worth $27 in value as well. Do you know what it means when a man has body slightly tilted away from you when he talks? Do you know what it means if he touches his throat while looking at you? This report reveals how to read a man's body like a book. Now you'll know exactly what he is thinking even before he utters a single word. And you will even be able to predict his next move with pinpoint accuracy. Good enough? Okay, so now it's time to add it all up. You're getting the main Mesmerizing Phrases program worth $300. On top of that, you're getting the Hypnotic Lines of Love program, along with the Mental Obsession and the Read His Body report, which come to a total of $81 for these 3 reports. If you add up the main program and the bonuses, you're getting $381 worth of products for a one-time only investment of $39. That is a massive 91% discount, and you're saving a colossal $342. So here's what you need to do now. Simply click the Add to Cart button below And we'll guide you through the whole checkout process. We accept credit card, debit card, or PayPal, and the whole process is extremely simple and completely safe. In fact, it's far more secure than using your credit card at a restaurant or a mall. Once you enter your payment details, you will be instantly taken to a download page, where you will be given immediate access to the complete Mesmerizing Phrases program, along with the bonuses. Good enough? Alright, now we're at a stage where you need to make a choice and you have only two choices. The first choice, leave this page, completely forget everything you heard or saw. Assume I never told you about Mesmerizing Phrases and let the next woman take advantage of this rare opportunity. By doing this, you'll instantly know that it was the worst mistake of your life because you might never get to experience what it's like to have a man look upon you with pure desire for hours and hours. And although it makes me really sad to say this, you might never ever experience the true love you've always desired. Sounds awful, right? Well, it doesn't have to be because you can make the completely painless, smart, and the most correct choice, which is the second choice by clicking the Add to Cart button below and enrolling in the Mesmerizing Phrases program right now. Once you do that, you can finally sit back, relax, and enjoy as any man you use these phrases on feels so obsessed with you that he'll call, cry, beg, and do everything for just a moment of your attention. And you understand that you have full 60 days to test drive this program. Therefore, you are at absolutely zero risk. The whole course is extremely fun and ridiculously easy. I'm really not kidding. Even if you don't go through the whole course and only casually scan it, your life will be changed forever. With the risk-free guarantee, you get 60 full days to test drive this program. Therefore, you have absolutely nothing to lose. And once again, I could go on, but I believe you've heard enough. So go hit that Add to Cart button below, and I'll see you on the inside.